Hello, hello, hello. My name is Kay Honda, and you're watching ComicsVerse at Wizard World Convention 2016 Philadelphia. I'm here with a very talented artist and designer from New York City, Plaid Klaus. So for comic books, I know that you've collaborated with other people and you've done the artwork for other creators, and you've also created your own comics. Do you have a preference between the two, or do you enjoy them both equally? What is your experience with that?
I love collaborating. One of the great things is if you get a really good writer, someone that can kind of bounce creative ideas off of, it takes the whole project to a new level. When I'm doing more personal stories, I tend to like to do them myself to sort of have more control. But typically, I think when you're collaborating, it just elevates the entire art form. Sometimes if you're working in sort of your own little headspace, you can kind of miss some of the things that might be beneficial if someone else is helping you out with, I guess.
I mean, that's really interesting because obviously I'm not at the level that you are as, Exhibit A, but I also have tried doing comic books and writing and drawing my own work, and I'm stuck between being really controlling about it, like you said, and not wanting anyone to see it or experience it, but then feeling like this would be enhanced by my experience with another person. And I think that, did you ever have that kind of, what's a good word for it? Were you ever resistant towards collaborating with people, or like feeling embarrassed or anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I guess every artist goes through that early on where you're just unsure of your work. Um, I do a lot of meditating and I'm like very zen about it. And I think the more you can separate yourself from the work and just let the work do what it's supposed to do, it becomes less about worrying if your work is good enough and if it's looking good. And it becomes more about what you're trying to sort of describe and the story you're trying to tell.
I mean, I guess like at risk of sounding redundant, I think that many creatives would be interested in your input on this. Just how do you stay motivated? A lot of creators will just say, just do it, or get out there, get out of your own way. And there's all these different, phrases that are associated with artists who have a hard time getting started. Do you have anything very personal that helps you kind of just get yourself started?
Yeah, the best advice, honestly, is get a steady exercise regimen because it's if you can get your body in tune and like get your body amped up and ready, your mind will follow, and then if your mind's there in the right headspace, you can really start to flow creatively.
So I feel like led to a very good segue into my next question, which is, you know, you're talking about the Masters. What is, the one biggest goal that you want to achieve? Like, however far away or unattainable it might seem, what are you reaching for in your lifetime?
I actually have a weird viewpoint where I don't think anything's unobtainable. Like I don't think any dream you have. No, I mean honestly, everything I've ever set my mind to, I've accomplished, and so I just see it more of like needing to take certain steps to get to that point. Right now, I'm really focusing on trying to create some creator-owned proprietary stuff with some writers I've worked with in the past, and I think just finding different approaches to how to get to your goals is important. A lot of people they try to look for the avenues that are already set in stone that people do. So, for instance, like getting a portfolio review at a big publisher or something, or trying really hard to get attention. But I realized with some writers that you can actually just get investors that believe in you and create your own project, and that gives you the space and the time to do them. And I think down the line, my goal is to sort of try to build a network of artists and creators to help them do the same thing I'm doing, which is just creating your own content you believe in, being your own editor, and self-publishing.
Art collectives are a huge thing too, and that sounds amazing. And that's probably what Image Comics had tried and succeeded in doing, but they're also getting very commercialized too. So
My hat goes off to Image. I think what Image is doing is great. The truth is, like, the bigger you get as a company, the more risk you take on, and the more financial risk you take on. So you can't just make big creative chances, and the risks just become too great. I think Image is doing a good job though of keeping out of the artist's way and really believing in artists and then just letting them go. A lot of the artists I talk to that work for Image will speak to that.
Yeah, the most difficult roadblocks that what are the most difficult roadblocks that you've experienced just as an illustrator or designer?
Yeah, I mean, one of the hard things, it's very weird. You said you draw, right? Yeah. So one of the hardest things is like some days, they call it the muse or whatever you want to call it. Drawing is just super easy and super fun, and you're super inspired, and it's just there, and everything's going into alignment. And for some reason, the next day, it could be a complete struggle, and nothing feels right, and everything's wrong. And I think that's something all artists go through. So it's about learning to sort of realize that there's peaks and valleys in the artistic process.
Thank you so much. I mean, I think that's all we have for you, Plaid, today. Is there any new projects that you want to promote or your website or anything like that?
Yeah, so you can go to turncoatcomic.com, and that's like the most recent comic I have out. You can read the whole thing for free, and you should check out coming in the future. There's going to be a project with me and the writer from that. I don't know if we're announcing titles and stuff yet, so but yeah, just follow me on Twitter, Plaid Klaus. I guess that's about it.
All right, awesome. Yeah, check out his artwork. It's amazing, super, super cool. And yeah, that's all we have for you today from ComicsVerse. I'm Kay Honda. And remember, if you like this interview, just like, share, subscribe to our YouTube account, ComicsVerse TV. Check out our website, www.comicsverse.com, for in-depth comics analysis and theory. We're also on Facebook, Tumblr, Twitter, at ComicsVerse, Instagram too. We have lots of pictures. I think that's about it. Any last words from you, Plaid?
If you're into comics, all I can say is just keep reading them, keep supporting the community, because the more fans we have out there, the larger we can grow this whole industry. So that's it.
You heard the man. Do it.